Check.
Check, check. Well, this is fun. Oh, well, I don't know if it's midnight, like 12. I don't know if it's 12 in the morning on Saturday or if it's 12 in the morning Sunday, but it does say here, Rapture's coming.
Okay.
Can't wait.
It's on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Make sure my phone's on silent so it's not the whole damn time. I brought one of my notepads from work. I'm already regretting it. It's just not, I mean, I don't know how many times I've heard this, but it's just not big enough. Just big enough to piss you off. And speaking of pissing you off, on the way here, I stopped by Taco Bell usually.
Yeah.
And so I'm coming from Raytown. We have one in Raytown, of course, right there in 350. And so I pull in there, and 10 minutes go by, and this line is not moving. So I take the exit, and I'm like, fuck it. They got one over by Wayne's. I'm going to go over there. So I get over here off Shawnee Mission Parkway, right?
Right.
And I get in line. Another couple minutes go by, and I'm like, this is not moving. But miraculously, the damn line started moving. I get up there, and I tell the guy I want this cravings box, which has, according to the sign, what does it say is in that? If you read the sign in that little area there, what does that say that's in there?
It says there's a beefy 5-layer burrito, crunchy taco, seasoned beef chalupa supreme, cinnamon twist, and a medium drink.
And a medium drink.
You get all that for $5?
All that for $5, right?
Okay.
So we've said before, it's like a sore dick, you can't beat it. So I went up there, and I'm like, all right, this is what I want this. And he's like, okay, did you want that with the chalupa? And I'm like, it comes with the chalupa. And he's like, no, it doesn't. I'm like, it says it right here on the sign that it does. He's like, no, it's either the chalupa or the 5-layer burrito. I'm like, whatever. Just give me the 5-layer. And he's like, all right, cool, okay. And so I get up there to the door, and I show him this picture that I took that I just showed you. I showed him the picture. I'm like, here's why I was confused, because it says it all comes in the same deal, the same meal. He's like, yeah, I don't know why it says that. It's just it's one or the other. I'm like, okay, so Raytown spread over here. I mean, Raytown's got a couple good things going for it. One, it's like 30, 35 minutes from anywhere. It's not the hub of excitement, but you can get to anywhere within 30 minutes. We're talking downtown, West Bottoms area to like Blue Springs maybe, or even here in what is this, Shawnee? Yeah, so it's not far from anywhere. And another cool thing it's got going on with it is that's where I'm from. I live out there, and I'm kind of a big deal. I'm really looking forward to trying these. I haven't had the one neat, and I haven't had the other one at all in any way. And I guess we'll just go ahead and get into it.
Let's do it.
Welcome, listener, dear listener, all of you listeners to the Savor the Burn podcast. My name is Jonathan. Across the table from me is the, slow hand W2. And tonight we are going to try out a couple offerings from Angel's Envy. One is the original bourbon. Yeah, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, finished in port wine barrels. And the second is going to be the Angel Envy Finished Rye Whiskey Finished in Caribbean Rum Casks. That sounds really good, because I'm a big fan of rye, as if you've been listening, you know. And speaking of listening, thank you for listening on your favorite podcast app of choice. And be sure to stay up to date on all things Savor the Burn by checking us out on our social medias, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter. We're actually pretty more consistent on Twitter. So like you'll send me some random ass thought or a picture of something, and I'll be like, what's in that? And I'll end up sharing it on Twitter, if not there, or Instagram / Facebook.
I find myself being a little slower to keep up with Twitter. Yeah. And so a few days will go by, and then I'll open up Twitter, and I was like, oh, okay.
I remember seeing that.
Hey, I recognize that photo.
Yeah. And we just got another follower on Twitter earlier today. I haven't.
Very cool.
Or X. It's called X.
That's right.
Silly me.
Formerly known as Twitter.
Yes, the social media platform formerly known as Twitter. But tonight we've got these offerings from Angel's Envy, and I'm pretty stoked to have them. The first time and only time I've had anything involving Angel's Envy was at the Naughty Pine in Raytown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
I walked in there. I don't know if we said anything about it on the show here or not, but I walked in there with Carl's friend. He's my friend now too, Lloyd Leon Kerr III, and it was after his first degree initiation in Freemasonry there at Raytown Lodge, right around the corner. And so I said, we can go somewhere. I'll buy you a drink, as a welcome to the brotherhood kind of thing. And he's like, all right, yeah, shit, let's do it. And so we ended up going to the Naughty Pine, and I'm like, what do you want to drink? He's like, I don't know, I'm good with beer. I'm like, all right. And so bartender lady comes over, and she says, what do you have? I said, what do you got as far as cocktails go? She's like, well, what do you want? And I'm thinking right off the top of my head, probably old fashioned, because
sure,
you can really judge a place by their old fashioned.
Yep.
And she said, I make a really good old fashioned. Like if that's what you want, I can make it for you, and you're gonna love it. I'm like, all right, cool. Let her rip, tater chip. So he got I got two of them, one for Lloyd and one for myself, as I do. I can't just have something. Everybody around me has to have it too. And so he got one, I got one. We tried it. He liked it. I loved it. I'm picking it apart as far as ingredients goes. I'm like, I don't know. I think maybe Wayne could have made this better.
I don't think, out of all this bottle that I've had, I don't think I ever once made it into an old-fashioned. So,
have you mixed it into a cocktail at all?
No.
Always neat?
It was always neat, yeah.
All right, so from what I've heard and from what I've tasted in that cocktail, my expectations are fairly high, because it was really damn good. I
will be replacing this bottle at some point, so it's good stuff.
I'm definitely looking forward to it. So, speaking of this bottle, it is the Angel's Envy Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, finished in port wine barrels. What can you tell us about it?
Angel's Envy is located in Louisville, Kentucky. They're actually just about 3 blocks away from the old spaghetti factory. Growing up in St. Louis, that's kind of a throwback memory.
All right.
And when we passed through there, Katie did a bunch of research, and it was there and still open. And so we made dinner reservations, and it was probably one of the best meals that we had on the trip. Just fantastic time. But anyway, their distillery is in downtown Louisville. I don't know off the top of my head, and I'm kind of skimming through the write-up I have here. I don't know if their distillery was located somewhere else prior, but they recently just did a full renovation of an old brick warehouse in that downtown area and turned it into their new distillery. I'm looking real quick. Yeah, it says, it is also worth mentioning that they are, this very minute, okay, so this was written probably prior to all of this, but building a brand new distillery and tasting room, God bless them, in a renovated Louisville, Kentucky brick warehouse to which whiskey lovers from the world round will no doubt be making future pilgrimages. It's a huge place. It's basically an entire downtown city block's worth.
Wow.
The entire building takes up about 3/4 of that city block, and then they have their fermentation tanks or whatever outside at the end of the building. But it's a huge place. We didn't have enough time to do the tour or anything like that, but their gift shop was just massive, and they had quite a bit there in terms of bottles, offerings, and souvenirs and whatnot, and that's where I picked up the honey that I got for you.
Okay.
But back to this particular one, Louisville, Kentucky. This is a 4-year straight Kentucky bourbon whiskey.
Yeah, usually it's what, 3, 7, 8, 10?
Somewhere in there. This comes in at 86.6 proof, and the maturation is in French oak and port cask finish.
Well, that's cool. Looks like it's nice and thick. It's not like, we'll give it a second here for the little rivulets to go down the side of the glass. It's got a nice color to it.
It's
kind of like a dark honey? What do they call this?
Kind of a dark honey, amber.
Yeah. It says here on the notes, gold with amber hue. Smells good.
A lot of maple syrup and vanilla right on the nose.
Yeah, not a lot of proof either, so it's not like burning my nose hairs out.
Yeah, 86.6 proof, so it's high enough to do the job, but like you said, not going to burn the nose hairs.
Yeah, lots of mapley vanilla goodness.
Mm-hmm. This is a bottle that retails for roughly $43.
That's not bad at all for this.
Yeah. I've seen it higher, but 40 and a half is about where it typically comes in at.
Put some on the palate and see what it's like. It is smooth and sweet. It's got a little bit of heat to it on the back end. On your notes here, on the nose it says spices.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it does say spices also in the flavor taste palette. Smoky undertones, ripe fruit, chocolate. Chocolate, creamy vanilla, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Spices, sweet candied notes of tangerine. I guess it does have a little bit of a citroness to it. I couldn't tell you if it was tangerine or not.
I think tangerine tends to have a little bit sharper. I don't know if I'd say tartness, but a lot of creamy vanilla and a nice, just a nice mellow chocolatey flavor right there on the palate.
And the finish is long and sweet, and it's still kind of creamy, kind of it's just, I don't know. I don't think I have any complaints about it.
The notes say lingering, and I agree with that.
Yeah,
and
it is lingering.
And
silky finish.
For this one, I think that's actually a really good thing because what lingers is all those sweet vanilla, chocolatey notes.
Mm-hmm. Now, usually when we taste a bourbon or a whiskey, I'll pick up on the oakiness like right off the bat.
Mm-hmm.
This, until like maybe third or fourth sip, I didn't pick up on oak at all, and it didn't come up on the nose ever. But it finally came in on the palate, on the mouth. So that was unexpected. So it's a little more complex than it wants you to think it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just got more and more to give as you go.
It's kind of funny. I've got a friend that once upon a time, when talking about different bourbons, whatever, and I brought up Angel's Envy, they were like, "Oh, I can't stand that. It tastes like straight molasses, straight maple syrup." And I was like, "Really? Okay. Well, I don't quite get that, but I mean, it definitely has a nice sweetness to it."
Yeah.
But okay, it's not for everyone. That's cool.
And nothing is.
And then you fast forward about 6-8 months, and then you catch them with their flask full of what? Angel's Envy. So, obviously it came around.
Now the name Angel's Envy, that has a story to it, doesn't it? Because we know the devil's cut of anything is...
Well, the devil's cut...
I think Angel's Envy has something to do with it. It's like the opposite of it.
The devil's cut is the bourbon that is still trapped in the wood.
Okay.
The Angel's...
They just squeeze the ever-living shit out of it to get it out. Okay.
The Angel's cut is the portion that evaporates naturally over time. So let's say you have a full 52-gallon barrel. By the time you're ready to start bottling that, I don't remember what the average percentages are, but you no longer have 52 gallons. You've got, let's just say 50 gallons at that point. Those 2 gallons that are lost, that's the Angel's cut.
Yeah. Okay, so, Angel's cut, not Angel's Envy. Okay. I wonder if that has anything to do. It's got a little collar note on it.
Yeah, take a look at that.
Did you already read this?
Nope. I'm gonna read through that and then jump into that if there's anything worthwhile on that. The little write-up I've got here says, the phenomenal bourbon is a product of the Louisville Distilling Company, a distillery rooted in 200 years of bourbon heritage that creates artisan, hand-finished spirits. The Angel's Envy is, as they say, their masterpiece and was inspired by legendary master distilled Link Anderson's lifetime spent crafting fine spirits. They offer other expressions such as a cask strength bourbon and a rum finished rye, which we're also going to try. For the production of Angel's Envy port finished bourbon, only mineral rich Kentucky limestone water and locally sourced grains are used. The bourbon is aged for up to 6 years in the upper floors of the warehouse and finished for another 3 to 6 months in port casks made from French oak that are imported directly from Portugal. My, oh my, gimme.
What the hell?
End quote.
Yeah, end quote. So yeah, if you were listening to all that, yeah, the my oh my, gimme was not Mr. Slowhand W2 here. So it doesn't really say too much else than what you had just said here on the little bottle tag, but it does say after 40 years spent upholding bourbon's strict traditions and heritage, our master distiller, I don't know why I went master blaster, decided to try something new. Lincoln Henderson began with an exceptional Kentucky straight bourbon and finished it in ruby port wine barrels for up to 6 months, resulting in a whiskey of unprecedented smoothness and character. This unique process imbues the spirit with flavors of vanilla, ripe fruit, maple syrup, toast, and bitter chocolate for an unconventionally delicious finish. It is unconventionally delicious.
Yeah. I don't feel like it's quite dessert whiskey level, but it's teetering right there on that line.
It's not sweet like a liqueur, but it is sweet. It's 100% sweeter than like the Jim Beam Black, the extra aged. I liked it because it was extra sweet as far as the bourbon goes. This is maybe twice as sweet.
Yeah,
and it's got everything you could want in it, and then some.
Yeah, when I was in Louisville, I didn't get an opportunity to do the Angel's Envy tour. But I will say that the Mixtures tour that I did, they were very, very quick to talk about the limestone mineral-rich water that Louisville has. So, and what you just read there also talked about the limestone water.
And we have talked about limestone water before.
Yep, right.
Like even with the what's the one up in New York? I think there were a few.
Yep.
A few up there.
So maybe the Iron Smoke?
Iron Smoke, yeah. I knew it was Iron something.
And the Copper Sea?
Copper Sea, yeah. I remember the Iron Smoke because I was kind of surprised at how good that one was. And that started me wondering, what exactly does this whole limestone water have to do with anything? Like if it comes from the tap from Kansas City, it's probably not going to taste that great. But I mean, what are they doing up there in New York? New York. Yeah.
So supposedly just the denseness of limestone makes it for a really, really good filtration system, and as the water filters through that limestone, you're getting a lot of natural minerals from it, but it's also naturally filtering out a lot of the bad stuff that you would not want.
Good old limestone doing the work that we don't want. We should employ it on the highway system. And
this description here says, age for up to 6 years and finish for another 3 to 6 months, so 6.5 years. The official age on it is 4 years. So as we've talked about, everything, unless it's listed as a single barrel, has some level of blending that is going on. So this probably is somewhere between 4 and 6 years bourbons that are blended together, and then 4 year ends up being the official age of it that they specify. The finish here says clean, lingering, smooth, silky finish with a hint of Madeira. Got the Google engine fired up to take a look at what that might be.
Other than being a region in Portugal, I have no idea. Known for special about cheap.
There must be something to that because the French oak barrels are from Portugal.
Oh, okay.
With the port cask are from Portugal. It says port casks made from French oak that are imported directly from Portugal. Madeira, is that how you would pronounce that? Madeira?
Yeah, maybe Madeira. I'm not sure. I was trying to figure out what it has to do with taste as far as influence goes. And I found on winefolly.com, they're talking about wine, but it says here to be specific, it says there are several taste profiles, but most will have flavors of caramel, walnut oil, peach, hazelnut, orange peel, and burnt sugar. So that's what you would expect when it comes to drinking a wine. Let me get pronunciation. Here we go. Ready? Madeira. You said that, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Madeira.
I'm frantically trying to make her go Madeira. It's not working. Good times. So let's see. The citrus for me, it showed up on the finish, like further down the road. Like yes, it was spicy with a chocolatey kind of creamy smoothness going on with the finish, but that's where the citrus kind of came through for me. It wasn't on the palate so much, but it's definitely very good. I did find oak on the palate after 3 or 4 sips into it. It's like, this is pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah. There's a nice oak flavor there that develops, and so it doesn't smack you across the back of the head.
Yeah.
With a 2x4.
Made out of oak. Yeah, sometimes like the oak, the presence of the oak flavor in some of these things, it's like you're just licking a handful of sawdust,
right?
And hoping you don't get a splinter. It's like, this is too much. But yeah, that was the first time I had it, was in that cocktail, the old fashioned up at the Naughty Pine in Raytown. It's not a very rock and roll story, I guess. Drinking a cocktail at a hole in the wall bar after a buddy of yours gets his first degree in Freemasonry. Like, welcome to the secret society that everybody knows about. Let's go get a drink.
This is actually the first time writing with my right hand.
Oh, is it?
It is.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So you haven't written anything with that hand.
Well, I've got at work I've got one of the stylus tablets like this that has a pen instead of a mouse.
Okay.
And I would say probably the last 3 days or so, I've slowly started using the mouse, putting the stylus pen in my hand and kind of moving it around.
The old Bob Dole.
But actually having a pen in my hand, which then requires a little bit of pressure to write and make marks. Yeah, that was first time. It didn't feel too bad.
And what are you writing down over there?
I'm writing down some numbers.
Some numbers on your tasting notes?
I got some numbers.
What'd you get on the nose?
I gave it a 4 1/4.
4 1/4. I gave it a 4 1/2.
Okay.
Why is that funny, you might ask? Because we're always so close in the same ballpark. It's just, I'm always Mr. Optimism. W2 is just a little bit less optimist. I don't know. He's had so many different whiskeys and scotches and bourbons. He's just scotchy. But yeah, he's just had so many. He's just like, yeah, I can be a little more critical if I want to. So that's good. What about the nose did you like?
The nose is great. It's all maple syrup and vanilla. Yeah, a great nose. I gave it a 4 1/4 just because it's above and beyond your typical bourbon.
Definitely.
But it also is all the usual suspects.
Yeah, I like it.
So
how about palate?
Palate, I gave it a 4 1/2.
So did I.
All right.
Wow, we got the same number on something. Yeah. So going back to what you said on the nose, it's everything you would expect and then some.
Yeah.
And that's Angel's Envy Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey does not disappoint.
No, not in the slightest.
It's just got that extra punch of sweetness that really kind of knocks it over the top for me. I might have gone, 4 3/4, but I didn't. So whatever, that's that. And on the finish, I gave it a 5 because it was like going back to tie everything all together. It was everything you would expect, and then some. And it's such a long finish. Like you knew it was there.
Yeah.
It's like it's what you would want an angel to be. Always there. Aww. Just sticking around, making sure everything's cool. Even after the party's done, making sure you're good.
I kept my finish at 4 1/2.
4 1/2? All right.
Yep.
All right. So what did your overall rating end up being?
Well, how about presentation?
No. Bottle presentation.
Yeah.
Damn it. I don't know why I skipped that one. Because, I don't know. I gave it a 5.
Okay.
I gave it a 5. You look at the shape of the bottle. It's down at the base. It's a thicker base at the bottom.
Yep.
That kind of flares out, for added stability, which is something I need. I'm like unstable on terra firma here, like on solid ground. I'm a little shaky. So that's why you don't find me on anything with wheels other than a car. I'll just fucking fall over it. But yeah, it's got the natural cork up here.
That's what I was just looking at. That is a real cork. It's got a great solid wood top on it.
It's got the band on it. It's got it's got the information you don't need, but you do like to see on the side. It's got your batch number This is 772 or 77Z. I'm guessing 772. I don't know. But the bottle number, 5087, it doesn't say uncorked on. It doesn't have your uncorked date.
Oh.
But it does have a place for it, which is, I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's pretty cool.
That's kind of cool. And actually, it may not be, but it looks like those barrel numbers in that are handwritten in.
They are.
That's kind of cool.
I would guess they are.
Especially for something like this and the magnitude of their distribution on this.
Yeah.
This is not a small batch whiskey by any means. It's very readily available.
Not with over 5,000 bottles.
Yeah.
Just by the time this came along.
Just in that batch.
Yeah.
And that said, to have a label where they're still hand numbering them, I think that's pretty cool.
I 100% agree. Plus, it's got, the penciled, the stenciled angel wings on the back of it.
I love how
it's a beautiful bottle all the way around, and it's got the little info tag on it. I don't know if that's on all bottles, but it's on this one. It's pretty cool.
They do that on all their bottles.
Okay.
Yeah, little info tag it's actually a nice gold printed little single fold little info booklet. That's kind of cool. Kind of like that is the bottle tags that we've kind of talked about maybe doing for the podcast.
Yeah.
And partnering with one of our local stores to kind of maybe put them on some of the bottles that we've tried, or all the bottles, or whatever we can get away with.
Whatever we can get away with.
But
I like guerrilla marketing. I'm a fan of it. So
I was going to say too,
put tags on everything. I don't know what you're talking about, officer.
One of the things that I do love about the printing on the bottle is, well, first off, like we talked about, it is a very unique. It is unique to Angel's Envy. No one else has this shaped bottle. But what I also love about it is the front side printing is kind of an off-white ink. The angel's wings on the back of the bottle are black printing, and so then you fill that with the wonderful gold amber whiskey that's inside the bottle, and it really kind of gives a nice little layered effect of your white lettering that's in your forefront that's going to stand out very, very well. And then just very subtly now you've got a nice dark outline of the angel wings kind of ghosted behind everything as you're peering through the bottle.
And this is all for like $43, $45.
$43, yeah.
Yeah,
43.
Yeah, I'll be getting a bottle of this soon. So
all that
I
to
gave
say,
it a 5. What did you give it?
All that to say, I gave it a 4.5 for my presentation.
Okay.
I very easily could have bumped that a little bit more because I think it's a stellar packaging presentation. I probably gave it a 4.5 instead of something higher because we have had some recently that have come in the bags. They have come in the tubes.
Yeah, in a bag, in a box.
In a box.
Yeah. Maybe I jumped the gun and threw a 5 at this prematurely.
But honestly, with something like this, in a unique shaped bottle that's unlike any other ones, you wouldn't want to put it in a tube. You would not want to put it in a box.
No.
You want it to be the bottle that stands out.
The bottle is its business card.
Yeah. So when it's on the shelf with all the other bottles in the cabinet, it's going, hey guys, I'm doing my own thing. And you're going to notice that way before you notice any of the other bottles because it is an iconic shaped bottle. It's very much like the Blanton's bottle is.
It's this
solely
globe.
to Blanton's. This is kind of a shaped bottle that is purely to Angel's Envy. So
I like it. How about overall score?
My overall score came out to 8 7/8.
8 7/8. I gave it a 9.5 after everything was tallied and split in two. That's what I came up with. 9.5 for me. Yeah, it's a top-notch whiskey. There's a 0% chance that I will not be buying a bottle of this for myself.
And I will absolutely be replacing this bottle. No question about it. They make a cask strength version of this. I have not tried that. So probably the next time I replace this bottle, I might decide to bump up to feel out. I think that one is $50 to $60 for the cask strength. And then they also have the rye that we're about to try. They also have a cask strength version of it also. And then they have a couple others that are up from that are really hard to find and also get extremely expensive.
Yeah, okay. So you recently sent me some, I think, that were in the thousands.
There is a Missouri, which is the kind of wood that it is finished in. It's that Japanese wood that we talked about with the Japanese whiskeys. They have a version that is finished in those casks. But yeah, I think that one, last time I saw one, was $500-$600 for that bottle.
All right, so it's not nearly as much as I thought it was. I don't know. You recently sent me a couple that maybe I sent a couple to you that were in the thousands. I was like, "Fucking, you can have it, keep it." I do not want that. I mean, I want it, but I don't want to pay that.
Right.
You know what? You sent me.
That's one of those
Japanese whiskey, the John Wick Japanese whiskey you just sent me.
Yes. So the Lucas on 119th recently changed ownership to Total Wine.
Okay.
And I think we talked at one point about me kind of excited about that because I've been in the St. Louis Total Wine. We visited Total Wine while in Knoxville, and I loved them. They were great. And Lucas Liquors has always been, the Sam's Club of liquor stores. They have so a bazillion things to choose from. They have a bazillion beers.
Yeah, wines, beers.
They have everything. Yeah, everything. Bourbons. Great selection. But the couple Total Wines that I've been in have kind of been that and then a notch higher. So recently I got an opportunity to, on my lunch hour, go down there and walk around in there, and they've upped the game with it. So anyway, I was in there and just kind of wandering down the Scotch aisle, or the whiskey aisle, the whiskey with a Y aisle, and just happened to stop, and they had the Yamakasi 12-year. It's the whiskey that John Wick has in the latest John Wick 4.
Yeah, I mean that's how I would pronounce it. Yamazaki. Yeah, not Kazi. Zaki had that little thing backwards there. But yeah, aged 12 years, single malt Japanese whiskey. Sounds good to me.
What's the price tag on that one?
$229.99. Yeah, which is pretty fucking high. It's close to. It's
not a cheap bottle, but
it's close to the maximum I've spent on.
Yeah.
A bottle.
That's just it. When the John Wick movie first was being, the trailers were out. It wasn't in the theaters yet, and they started talking about the Japanese whiskey that was in there and his relationship to not only Japanese whiskey, but
Keanu's.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves, his personal relationship with the master distiller of the distillery there, and the specific one that was featured in there. The price tag that I remember reading in that article was a little higher than what it's actually on the shelf for right now. So, and there's only one bottle on the shelf. I'm not sure I'm ready to run out and buy the T-shirt, but like you said, $200, that's a high dollar. But
I got some bad news.
So
on that post I was talking about earlier with the Rapture.
Yes.
At midnight. I asked what time zone I need to know so I can warn people on my podcast. And he says too late. It's over. I think it came early. So looks like you're going to be getting your stitches out on Friday, and I have to go to work.
All right. Keep playing our metal.
Yep. Yeah, we got some songs to
keep on burning.
Keep on burning. We're just gonna have to keep on burning. We missed Rapture. Yeah, if you missed Rapture, you're gonna be fucking burning anyway. My biscuits are burning. So I wrote down for its price, it's beautifully complex, slightly higher than tavern strength. If you like your whiskey sweet, you will love Angel's Envy Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep, short and sweet. But the this whiskey is not short and sweet. It's quite nice. It's got a lot going for it.
And with the shape of the bottle, I mean, it actually stands pretty tall in the cabinet too.
Yeah. Oh, does it really? It's taller than. I guess it is, isn't it?
It's not as tall as.
It's taller than your Highland Park.
Booker's. It's not as tall as
tall. The E.H. Taylor. That one's pretty tall.
The E.H. Taylor is also a little taller. They do not fit in my shelf. Writer's Tears.
Writer's Tears was a tall bottle.
That's too tall.
It's a tall, skinny bottle. That was you said that was aged in what?
That one is the Irish whiskey. It's finished in a Marcella cask.
Marcella cask.
That's so good. We're going to get into that one before too long.
Yeah, looking forward to that one.
Shall we pour up this next one?
Let's do it. Let's give it a try. While you're filling up our little whiskey taster glasses that we have in the shop at savortheburn.com/shop. Well, actually, we don't have these, but we do have some other ones.
These are actually the ones that are in the store.
No shit. Okay.
The 4-pack, yep.
Okay. Well, call me an idiot.
We've got the 4-pack. We've got the 2 gift box set.
Mm-hmm.
I think I also put a travel set that has 2 glasses and has a leather. It's a leather bound tube that actually opens from the side and then is padded in there.
Okay,
and has the 2 ones. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then I think that may have been it.
Yeah, and then you got your citrus slices in there, dehydrated citrus slices, and there's this bar tool kit that we're going to be giving away to a random subscriber on YouTube. So if you're listening, definitely hit subscribe on YouTube, follow along, and you're entered to win a free bar tool kit. If you don't know what we're talking about, hop on savortheburn.com/shop, check it out, and you can be winning that from us for free. And all it takes is you hitting that subscribe button. But on top of that, there's other those barrel aged cherries. You put those on there. You put some Fee Brothers.
Yep. Lots of different Fee Brothers bitters
on there. Yeah, very good. But back to the Angel's Envy Rye. I snuck the tag off at the top here, and it does look cool, like you were saying with the lettering and the wings in the back. It's
a nice subtle touch.
This is gold on the lettering on the front. It's not off white.
Okay.
Like the original is. But here on the tag it says, everything we do is grounded in whiskey tradition up to a certain point. While we respect the old ways, we're not afraid to improve on them. That's why our rye is unconventionally delicious. There's that term again. With a 95% rye mash bill, it's aged in charred white oak barrels like other super premium ryes. But then we go one step further, finishing our rye in vintage rum casks. This marries the already complex spiciness of the rye with the sweet, balanced flavors of rum and cognac. Released in extremely small batches, our rye is a rare treasure that disappears all too quickly.
I think that's a key right there. They say released in small batches.
Yeah.
Which I think probably explains the price tag that comes on this one. So the other one's a $43 bottle. This one is now an $82 bottle.
Wow, okay. Shit.
But what I love about so many distillers do this follow this same convention, but because it's a rye, the labels are green.
Yeah.
You got the tape over the stopper on the top, and then the label on the side that is also once again hand numbered.
Yeah. Batch number 175, bottle number 8872. So this is a higher bottle count on this batch for sure, even though it's a smaller batch. So I mean, if this is from a smaller batch, I wonder how big their original one is.
But like you said, the lettering on the front of it is gold.
Yeah.
The wings on the back are the same.
Same.
Black outlined wings.
It's a little bit different, but it doesn't need to be. The bottle is the same.
Same bottle, yep.
Yeah.
Same topper. Different wood on the top of it, maybe.
Yeah. Still natural cork.
Maybe a dark walnut top on it versus a cherry.
A cherry, yeah. Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to trying this one. What all else besides the bottle tag that I read? What all else can you tell me about it?
So with this one, it is a 7-year age, a little bit older whiskey.
The original was 4.
This is the maturation on this one is medium char American oak and plantation rum cask finished.
Okay.
This is also 100 proof. So
okay.
So instead of the 86.6, we are at a full 100 proof on this one. I noticed before we started here tonight, we already had a handful of comments on Facebook.
Okay, yeah, all right. So you've seen them already?
I saw a couple of them. I'm sure there's been a few more since I last saw them.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to hop on here real quick, and here we go. 5 people answered, it looks like. Let me make sure it says top comments. I need to load all comments. All right, so, okay. Oh, you even responded to one. Mm-hmm. Mike says the Angel's Envy Rye is a caramel bomb, and you replied.
That makes me excited.
Yeah. Have it here. Got that one in June at the distillery. Excited to finally crack it open. Mr. W2 says. Brent says, I love the bourbon neat. It's sweeter than expected, but delicious. Never had the rye before. Darren says, yum and yum yum. Nancy says, both will always be on my shelf. Love Angel's Envy. People have been they've been, instead of spelling out Angel's Envy, it says AE. So my mind immediately reads that to Anderson Erickson. So this is not ice cream, people.
Not milk.
Don't get me confused. I'm easily confused. Zane says, I liked the rye, but it has a very unique taste. It tasted like roasted marshmallow to me. Well, shit, that sounds good to me. Jackson says, I describe the Angel's Envy rye as the most delicious dessert you'll ever eat. If dessert was whiskey. It's so good. Well, Jackson, let me tell you, I believe wholeheartedly that dessert whiskey is a thing, and so is breakfast whiskey.
Yes, sir.
What do you got on the nose? I'm seeing you over there sniffing it.
There is so much on this nose. Yeah.
That is like butterscotch.
Mm-hmm.
It's butterscotch, sweet, vanilla.
Oh, my God.
The caramel is off over the top.
You know what's on the nose. Banana bread. Seriously. That's a banana spice bread.
Yeah, like a tropical spice.
Mm-hmm.
This is...
There's caramel in there. There's a little bit of vanilla. But, yeah.
I just rated it. It's got a beautiful color. Is this darker than the original? Without having
a little bit.
Without having them next to each other, it's kind of hard to kind of go off of memory. But
yep.
It's probably
this darker. One is listed as a warm mahogany, and I do remember them sitting side by side. The original one is a little bit lighter in color, so this one's a little bit deeper.
Yeah, it is aged less.
I mean, yeah, and 3 more years. That's a lot.
It is.
We've had some bourbons that were 1 year's total.
Yeah, you go back
2 years total.
3 years. We were like still. It was still mid to late pandemic. I wasn't even in Burn the Gates, so like there was a whole album worth of stuff that I think that I've written for Burn the Gates alone. Not to mention Into Existence. We're just constantly writing over there too. So a handful of shows in between 3 years and now. So it's not bad. I would like to play a lot more shows. Fuck. Yeah, the banana-ness. Banana-ness, is that a thing?
Banana-ness. I like it. I'm ready to get some on the mouth.
Let's do it. That fruity...
Wow.
It's almost like a fruity explosion. Uncharacteristic of any and all bourbons I've ever had before. Or whiskeys.
Holy cow.
Yeah, this isn't a bourbon, it's a whiskey.
Caramel bomb is no joke.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's chocolate in there. There's I would go as far, I would say there's a toasted marshmallow in there.
Yeah.
There's more banana bread in there.
Yeah.
You got some grains going on.
Yeah, and the rye is still present.
Yeah.
The rye is still there.
Yeah, it's kind of like a toasted rye. Oh my gosh.
And this is 100 proof. How is it so smooth at 100 proof?
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
That's
This is easily one of the best ryes I've had.
Hands down ever. Yeah. Shit. Finish is still smooth, lingering sweet. There is a bit of a toasted sugar / toasted spice flavor to it that just kind of drags out. I was expecting somewhat of a rum kind of spirit to it. I didn't get that, but I don't even think it shows up in the notes. Nope.
No, I mean, I'm sure that Caribbean Rum Cask is playing into the heavy banana flavor that we're getting, as well as that overload of caramel. This says liquid love in a glass.
Yeah. You give me a glass of this and some crab rangoon, I'm putting out. Once again, here's another bottle. There's a 0% chance that I'm not going to end up getting a bottle of this. This is amazing. You said they have cask strength for both?
There's a cask strength for both of these. Total Wine also has both of these. I don't know about the cask strengths, but they definitely have both of these in stock.
And cask strength can usually come in at 120 something, 130 something.
Mm-hmm. If I remember correctly, I think their cask strength is actually like 115, 117.
Okay.
So
it's not a lot more proof.
The cask strength of the bourbon, I think, is about a 115.
Okay, well, that's a considerable jump.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty blown away by this. This is, remember when we tried that Balcones?
Yes.
Balcones at first, and we were like, holy shit, this has so much going on with it. It's super sweet. There's chocolate. I can taste the chocolate. We almost high-fived over the chocolate.
We did.
And this is every bit as amazing as that one was, and then some.
And then some.
Yeah. This is definitely my favorite rye whiskey. So, let's see. I'm not sure who I said. Probably Bullet Rye, which is it's a very rye forward, very I think it's sour mash. This just blows that out of the water.
All right, so I just looked up, and the cask strength bourbon is I was way off. The cask strength bourbon is 122.4.
On which one? The original?
On the original.
Okay.
That's a huge jump from 86.6. Okay, this is not something we will probably get, but I did find an Angel's Envy ice cider cask rye whiskey.
What? Ice cider?
Ice cider cask rye whiskey.
What the hell is ice cider?
It's an 832 bottle. Ice cider isn't that going to be something similar to ice wine, but only with apples? First freeze of the apples, right? Maybe. Because ice wine is the first frost of the grapes.
You're absolutely right. Wikipedia says ice cider is the cider equivalent of ice wine, a fermented beverage made from the juice of frozen apples. Holy shit. I had no idea that was even a thing.
So, yeah. So that bottle's $832.
Wow.
If you want me to...
Is it rye or is it the bourbon whiskey?
That was a rye. That was ice cider cask rye whiskey. I bet that's
selling a fucking car. I'm going to sell a car. We're going to get that bottle. I don't care how it happens. We're going to have it. Patreon.
Flaviar has it.
Flaviar's got it.
$832 for that bottle. No one has given any reviews of it yet. Well, yeah, no kidding. It's an $832.
Maybe Savor the Burn needs its own Flaviar account.
Look at that presentation. It comes in that box.
Beautiful. That'd be a 6 on presentation.
Fucking A, right?
Or more. Like if they have multiple colors on the front of the label. Maybe it's got red and gold. Or white and gold. Shit. Beautiful. Yeah, I have zero complaints about this rye.
The description I pulled on this one. Angel's Envy Rye starts life as a quality but rather traditional mix of 95% rye, 5% malted barley.
You know what? That malted barley does come through.
Mm-hmm. Bullet, Dickel, ... A lot of the top guys use this mix because it works well. This is where Angel's Envy works their magic. First, they age it a full 6 years in medium char American oak.
Medium char.
Then they finish it for an additional 18 months in rum casks, but not just any rum casks. These are the rum casks from Plantation Rum, the ones that started the cognac casks from Maison Ferrand. So Angel's Envy Rye is a third in line of super premium awesomeness in those casks. Emerging 7.5 years old, no more sales pitch. You just think about that for a minute and get back to us.
Yeah, I appreciate the sales pitch. I really do. I appreciate the sales pitch. But the sales pitch for me ended with the original offering, the original Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey at fucking, 86 proof.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that this was going to be a rye and it was going to be a little higher proof, I had some more expectations than I really wanted to admit to myself because I knew how good that was, but how good is this going to be?
Right.
My expectations were blown away.
Same.
It's nose to toes. This thing's beautiful. This is Woman in the Red Dress worthy.
So what'd you give it on the nose?
5.
I gave it a 5.
You gave it a 5?
I gave it a 5.
How about on the palate?
Well, I just went right ahead and gave it another 5.
Girl, same.
Mm-hmm.
I gave it a 5. How about that bottle presentation?
Well, let's first get to that finish.
Finish. I skipped the finish.
You
How could I skip the finish? Because I gave that a 5.
get the finish in there. I gave the finish a 4.5.
4.5?
And I don't.
We were doing so good.
I don't feel like I was necessarily docking it.
Uh-huh.
I was still giving it it still had a great finish. Mm-hmm. It met and exceeded my expectations.
But it didn't wow you.
It wowed me. There was just nothing extra that caught me off guard. That there wasn't anything unexpected.
All right.
By the time I got to the finish, I was fully there.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, it's what I expected and then some.
Okay.
But I wasn't quite ready to give it a full 5.
All right. And the bottle presentation, is that still at a 4 and a...
I left that at 4.5.
Okay.
I think if I were to sit here and kind of deconstruct both of them side by side, I would probably give this one a little bit higher because of that splash of green. Mm-hmm. I think just works really well.
Right.
But that is the rye designation.
It is. It is.
So
we sell Tight Bond at work, which is a caulking. It's like a sealant kind of thing, and used in construction industry. And I don't know why, but there is a green band on some of those Tight Bond boxes. And just earlier today, I was telling my friend Gerald, who on every birthday he gets a bottle of Gentleman Jack, because it's like triple filtered through charcoal, and it's a lot smoother than your regular Jack Daniels. I actually do enjoy it, but because regular Jack Daniels is just fucking trash. I can't stand it. Is that a chicken foot?
it looks like a chicken foot, but no, it's three rye grain stalks.
Okay.
Versus the other one does not have that underneath the finished rye designation.
So good. But yeah, anyway, so I was telling Gerald, I call him New Kid. I don't know if I've ever told this story, but at work we go through seasons of just kind of unexplainably high employee turnover, where they'll come and they'll go. You know, and you don't know how long they're going to last, and they could last a couple weeks, a couple days, maybe a couple months. So I was just done trying to learn everybody's every new guy's name that came through. And so when he showed up, 17, green behind the gills, you know, like never done really kind of any kind of work at all. He's from Arkansas, really tall, lanky, and I just called him New Kid, and I called him that for like 6 months. I didn't even know his name. It's like, hey, New Kid. Hell yeah, is what he says. But he turned out to be a really cool dude, and he's still with us after, hell, I'd say close to 15, 20 years he's been with us. But,
awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, long story longer, I was telling him that the labels on the green part of the label on the Tight Bond boxes was that means that it's rye. It's a rye caulking. It's a rye sealant. He's like, okay. Oh my God, that's so good. And so the bottle presentation, for me, I stuck with it. I stuck with it at a 5. Because there's no reason that I shouldn't. Because I give the original a 5.
Makes sense.
But
it still has the same size neck tag. Mm-hmm. It's green and is specific to the rye.
And speaking of the neck tag, it's got a green bottle tag with all the little cheeky info you might want.
Nice little gold.
Yeah,
printing.
Gold printing on green tag. But yeah, I have no complaints. So overall rating, mine with all 5s, it's nothing but a 10.
All right. Well, mine came in at 9.5.
9.5. Yeah. So these are both super high rated whiskeys for us.
Man.
Especially you. I don't know what else you've given a 9.5. Maybe one. I don't remember which one it was.
Definitely no other ryes.
If we went back to the Balcones and tried it again, maybe it would be ballpark 9.5 for you. I don't know. Probably 9 for you, 9.5 for me. But yeah, this is something. So I wrote down here a caramel explosion on the palate. A delicious bouquet of flavors and spice. Coming in right at 100 proof, you won't believe how sweet and smooth a rye whiskey can be. Buy yourself a bottle and you will not be disappointed.
Yeah, This is
by far now my new favorite.
This is going to become
Rye whiskey.
a staple.
Yeah.
It's got to be in the cabinet always.
Yeah, and you mentioned in here, let's see, 95% rye and 5% malted barley is indicative of what Bulleit and Dickel use in their rye whiskeys. So if you wanted a rye whiskey that is probably as good but nowhere near as sweet, actually I wouldn't even say it's as good. Bulleit rye I would point you in that direction. Like if you just don't like sweet, definitely check that out. If you can't stand Angel's Envy because it's so sweet. But
It's just too sweet.
some folks are like that. I was born with their sweet tooth. So I fully appreciate this. And my own. In addition to my own. And a family heirloom sweet tooth that we've all shared in the bloodline. That was kind of dumb, but whatever. But this is really good. I can't believe just how damn good that is. It says here in your tasting notes on the flavor. I'll bump it up here to the nose. Toasted banana spice bread. Seriously, that's funny because you said that. You said this is like banana bread. And I was like, man, you're crazy. But I was like, he's fucking right. He's 100% right in the flavor. 50% alcohol content, ABV, and powerful. With a splash of water, it is caramel, more banana, toasted grain, and liquid love in a glass. Yeah, we didn't even hit it with water.
Let's just think about that for a second. We had this neat in a Glencairn glass.
Yeah.
This in a rocks glass with a small cube.
Yeah, it'd have to be small because
or just break out the pipette for a couple drops.
Either way,
I bet that opens the floodgates.
I'm gonna have to find out on my own. Just like you are. You're gonna find out. You're gonna tell me, and I'm gonna be like, God damn it, fuck! And so I'm gonna end up buying it myself. I really can't believe how good these are. These were both amazing. Do you have anything to add? Any rock stories involved with Angel's Envy?
I wish I did. I don't. But man, I mean this.
I feel like we're gonna have to.
This second bottle. This.
Maybe we should take some of this and poke it down Carl's throat. He says he does not appreciate whiskey or bourbon the way we do. There's no way he could not appreciate this.
I've got about an inch and a half of the Jefferson's Reserve Ocean left in my glass flask.
Oh, okay.
I kind of want to finish that off.
Yeah.
And then
We
fill that
can do that
up
at
with
the next show. Or practice.
Yes.
Whatever.
This would be a great flask whiskey to just have at shows or wherever.
The next show we have on the books is Voodoo. Well, it is glass, so if they pat you down, they'll never find it.
We're coming in the back door with all the merch and everything else.
We're with the band. We're with the fucking band.
We are the band.
We are the band. Not just with them. We are them. We're gonna get our little passes, our little tags, or stickers, or whatever they give us. And they're a high class, very professional. group of people.
You're a big deal. So
I am. 2 bands and a podcast host. So, and I live in Raytown. I'm like the coolest thing about Raytown. Well, except for maybe Crane, Raytown renowned. Except for maybe Crane Brewing. They're pretty bitchin'. I almost said rat ass, but not everybody knows what rat ass is. That's Raytown as fuck. But going back to the notes here, the finish: a warm velvet glove with muddled wine. I don't know about muddled wine, but a warm velvet glove.
I'm fully convinced.
It reminds me of that song "Touch Too Much" by AC/DC on the Highway to Hell album. Touch too much, yeah, like a hand in a velvet glove. Seems like a touch. Air guitar. Touch too. All right, I'm over it. I'm not over it. I'm gonna probably listen to that on the way home.
I am fully convinced that the Caribbean Rum Cask this is finished in plays a huge role in all of this. But I'm not able to pick out a muddled wine.
No, I don't either. I mean, the banana
spice.
But
that's okay. Banana spice bread all day long.
So good. That should be the next.
And that reply on Facebook, caramel bomb.
Caramel bomb, absolutely right.
100%.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get back to him and be like, "Holy smokes, you were absolutely right."
This is going to become a cocktail too.
Oh, we're using this one in the cocktail. I guess we would have to because the OG's MT.
I mean, I planned that, but the cocktail that we're gonna do is specific to this particular whiskey.
Oh, okay. Tell me about it. Do we want to wrap and then go to the cocktail?
Let's wrap.
You know what, dear listener? It sucks to be you right now.
You're just gonna have to stick around.
Yep, you're gonna have to stick around. Maybe it shows up on a bonus on the following Monday. So maybe you only gotta wait a couple days and find out what cocktail we used it for. But hopefully before...
Stick around and find out.
Motherfucker! So hopefully you already know what the original Angel's Envy is like. And maybe you've been thinking about the rye. Or maybe you don't know anything about it. I don't know. I don't know what you know. I don't know what you don't know. Anyway, coming back to it, I really hope by... I'm going. I don't know if this is a fact. Maybe you can cut this out if this is not, the truth of what's going to happen. But if this episode drops on Friday, the cocktail episode should drop on Monday, and hopefully in the interim there between Friday and Monday,
get yourself a bottle.
The listeners have gone out and they've gotten themselves a bottle of one, both, whatever, or maybe gone to a bar and had a neat pour of it and tried it out.
Yep.
That way, a little try it before you buy it. I'm 100% cool with that. But you're just gonna have to wait. So you do that, you're gonna understand what we're talking about, why we're so blown away by how good these are. 2, you will hopefully be excited about the cocktail coming up. I don't even know what it is. You told me what it was, but my Swiss cheese fucking memory completely dropped that.
New ingredients too.
New ingredients. Yeah, I remember you said you got a bottle of something that we needed for the cocktail to make it with, whatever. So, thank you for listening. I'm calling you dear listener again. Thank you for listening, dear listener. Once again, I'm Jonathan. Across the table from me is Mr. Slowhand W2 Wilkes, and we thank you for listening to us again and again and again. And we really, really want to let you know how much we appreciate it by giving away a bar tool kit from you just hitting subscribe on the YouTube channel. Hop on over there and hit subscribe, and you're automatically entered. No cost to you, including shipping. I'm just going to pay for it out of pocket. I don't see why there'd be any reason why not to. We'll do that when the time comes. So definitely be subscribed before Black Friday hits, and you are in the running for it. And until then, keep checking us out on all podcast apps available out there, except for Stitcher. Rest in peace. And the social media accounts that we have, Twitter or X now. You got Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok for sure. I got to get my poop in a group and start editing some cocktail videos. I have not been doing that lately. I've been having phone issues, but excuses. So anyway, thank you for listening, and no matter who you are, what you're doing, who you're doing it with, and what you're drinking, always remember, dear listener, to keep on burning.